If you are a student who is currently being written off, who is doubted, who the teachers kind of look at and smirk because they know that you're cooked either way, if you're a student who their parents are disappointed with them and have kind of just completely lost hope in them, then this video is for you. Because in this video, I'm going to share with you my story and exactly how I went from a failing student all my life, from the start of year 7 all the way to year 11, to achieving the greatest academic comeback I have ever seen, which is to go from C's and D's to achieving a 97 plus ATAR, become the Ducks of my cohort, get a scholarship to study at one of Australia's top universities, and to get above 90 in every single subject. Okay, so this is for the students who are sick of doing bad. This is for the students who people are just, betting against you, like how they were with me. Okay, so if you're a student right now who is not doing well and who wants to completely change their life, then this will be the video you need to watch. Okay, I don't care how long the video is. This is something I wish I had, because by the end of this video, you're going to know exactly what you need to be doing next to completely change your life and achieve whatever ATAR you want, whether that's a 90, 95, 99.95, 80, 85, I don't care, okay? So let's get started. The first thing I want to start off with is kind of my journey, okay? So really what happened from year 7 to 11. Okay, because I often talk about how, I was a failing student and I never did well and blah, 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 blah. But what really happened? Like, what was I doing during year 7 to 11? How much of a absolute, how cooked was I? I'm gonna explain everything. And let me just tell you something very carefully. Everything I say in this video is not over exaggerated. It is genuinely true. And I don't know how you'd be able to do this, but you can literally ask my teachers, you can ask my parents, you can ask my family members. They'd all agree with this, okay? So it's not like I'm making up some bullshit to make my story sound better. Like, this is genuinely true, okay? So during this time of year 7 to 11, I hated school, okay? So I genuinely hated school, right? I didn't like it at all. It's not like I was that student who did bad, but they still tried. I hated school. I genuinely hated school. I would play games all day, right? All day, I'd be playing Fortnite. Literally, like, oh my God, it's actually embarrassing. Like, I would play literally all day, okay? I'd get home from school and from 3:30 to 10, I'd play. On Saturday and Sunday, I would literally play 8 hours plus a day, okay? So I'd be playing games all day. If it wasn't me playing games, I'd be watching just Netflix and shows and, doing whatever. If it wasn't for those, I'd then be hanging out with friends. If it wasn't for friends, I'd just be, doing some random crap, okay? Just random stuff, right? Engaged in bad habits. I had a bad group of friends too, okay? So my friends, the environment I was in, it wasn't the best. And the reason why it wasn't the best is because I went through to a 500 plus ranked public school, okay? So I went to a 500 plus ranked public school, and because it's a 500 plus ranked public school, again, no hate on the school, obviously the type of people who go to the school aren't the best, okay? So the group of people who I was hanging out with weren't really influencing me well, okay? They were all about the lifestyle of hanging out at night, girls, and doing a bunch of crap that I don't want to say on this video, right? But I was in that crowd. And because I was in that crowd, I hated school. In fact, not only did I hate school, I hated any form of work. Like any form of work, like if I had to exert myself, unless it was playing a game, I would hate it. I didn't care what it was. Even if it was working at a job and I was getting paid, I didn't want to do it. I was just a lazy piece of shit who didn't want to do anything, okay? I had never read a book, even though my dad tried to make me read books all the time. I couldn't read books, right? I'd get a headache from reading a book. I was literally I was just gone, okay? And this whole cycle happened from year 7 all the way to year 11. Okay, the same thing over and over and over and over again. And from year 7 to 10, it got worse and worse. First of all, during this time, the marks I was getting was C's, D's, and sometimes I would get a B. Now, before you think, oh, but B is good. No. The things that I got B in were like the easiest things ever. Like, it wasn't even an impressive B. I never got a B in an exam. Okay, these were only assignments where I just copy it from my friends. So every assignment I did from year 7 to 11, I'm not even joking. I'm not joking. Every single assignment I did, I copied it from someone else. I would bribe my friends to give me their copy of their assignment. I would bribe, I'd see someone in the class who like tries to work hard. I'd get close with them. I kind of manipulate them a little bit, try to get their assignment. Oh yeah, what did you do there? And I'd literally copy it word for word. In fact, I've got caught once doing this where I copied it word for word. My parents got caught and I got in a lot of trouble, right? But that's where I got to be, only because of that. So the reason why I say I've been failing school since year 7 to 11 isn't because I've been literally failing. It's because the marks I got, the exams I did were always C's and D's. I'd either fail completely or get from around 50 to max 70%. So that's why I say I get C's and D's. So I was getting C's and D's from year 7 all the way to year 11. And guess what? It did not bother me at all. I literally did not care. Like, it's not like, I wasn't like you right now who's watching this video trying to change themselves. I did not give a crap. In fact, I promise you, if it was not for my mum and my dad and me being Lebanese, if it wasn't for the fact that if I didn't do it, I'd get like in some deep shit, I would never have done the assignments. I would have never handed in. I had zero shame. I didn't care. I didn't want to do it. Okay? And I remember once, just a quick story, quick side tangent before I continue. I remember once in year 9, I had a major project, which, by the way, a major project, it's like you have an insane amount of time to do it. Like, I'm talking, I think it was like for art or textiles, I'm not sure what it was, but it had like 6 weeks, 8 weeks, maybe multiple months, I'm not sure, but it's very long. And I remember I came up to my dad 2 days before the due date, and I'm like, I had this thing due. He's like, when's it due? And I'm like, in 2 days. Like, how long do you have it for? I'm like, we got it, blah, blah, blah. And I got in some deep trouble, and yeah, so I had to do a major project in 2 days, and obviously I did not get a good mark. But the point is, like, I didn't care, right? So that was kind of a sum of my life from year 7 to year 11, just playing games all day, hanging out with friends, watching Netflix, doing random things. I was extremely undisciplined, extremely lazy. I don't want to expose some things here, but like I would just swear all the time. Like I was just around a very bad crowd, okay? So that's what happened all my life. And by the way, if you're really interested too, even in primary school, okay, even in primary school, I was still a terrible student. I would be in extra support classes for math, for example. In other words, classes for people who are just that cooked, they need extra support. I was in that for primary school, okay? Primary school, right? So that is my life from primary school to year 11. And I wish I was exaggerating, I'm not. This was literally it. In fact, I haven't even given you all the details. I'm not sharing some things, but I was really gone, okay? So that's what happened from year 7 all the way to year 11, okay? So you might be thinking, up until this point, okay, what? Okay, so where did the academic comeback happen? This is what happened, okay? So it was in the holidays. It was the holidays between year 10 to year 11. Okay, so this holiday here, we have a 6-week summer holiday. Okay, 6-week summer holiday. This is where my life changed. And here's what happened, okay? Exactly 1 week before year 11 started, I was alone in a hotel room. My family was like going out for dinner and I was about to go, but I had to come back to get something. I don't remember what it was, but I was in there sitting alone, and I don't know, like this sounds like it's from a movie, but I promise you I'm not lying. I was in that hotel room alone, and I looked myself in the mirror and I'm like, what the hell am I doing? What the hell am I doing? Because at the time, I had been told that I should drop out, okay? Because obviously, like, if a school is seeing a student not give an absolute shit and hang out with people who are dropping out, they try to suggest you also drop out. And I had been called dumb at that point and all that stuff. So I remember in the hotel room, I looked at myself in the mirror, I'm like, what the F am I doing? I'm about to start year 11. My parents are extremely disappointed with me. I waste time. I do nothing with my life. I've wasted literally years doing nothing, despite all the support my parents have given me. Because yes, my parents did try to support me. They got me tutors, nothing worked. They got me textbooks, nothing worked. They got me things as incentives, they got me a PC to try to make me do well in school. I didn't care. So I remember I sat there in the hotel and I looked at myself in the mirror and I'm like, oh my goodness. And like, it's actually crazy. I just woke up to reality. I'm like, I've just spent the last multiple years doing absolutely nothing. And I remember that day, I'm not joking, that day, I asked myself and had to think, okay, look, man, you have two choices. Because I realized enough was enough. I told myself, I looked myself in the mirror and I said, look, man, you have two choices. You either drop out of school right now and become a tradie so you can earn some money, which by the way, nothing wrong with it. Or you stay in school, you start year 11 and year 12, but the condition is that you work your absolute ass off and you actually try to do well. That was what I told myself. And after telling myself that, I gave myself a few days to think, right? So I left the hotel room, went out with my family, blah, 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 blah. And I came back the next day and I'm like, let's do it. Let's actually try to do well in school. Because year 11 starting, this was like the 1 week before year 11. So you know what, let's actually try to do well. And in that moment, without having ever done well in school in my life, having failed school all my life, I took out a notebook, and I still have it. I'll take a photo of what I wrote. And I wrote to myself a promise that I, Lukman Arab, will achieve a 95 ATAR, no matter what. And again, I'll put a photo somewhere of the actual notebook. I still have that notebook to this day, and I wrote that. And when I wrote that, I almost tore it apart and I threw it out. Because you need to understand, I'm writing this to myself having literally failed school the whole time. And for me to write to myself that I want to get a 95 ATAR, like it was almost a joke. It was almost offensive. Like me, Lukman getting a 95 ATAR? Hell no. What the hell? That's like practically impossible, right? But I still wrote it. I still did it. So I kind of wrote it, like kind of hid it. I kind of looked away. It was like hard to write. But then I faced the truth. I looked at it. I looked at that notebook. I looked at what I wrote. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to do this. I'm going to do everything I can to get this ATAR. And if you're wondering like, okay, but what made you want to do that? Honestly, it was because I realized like at the end of the day, this is for me. Like this isn't even a matter of making my parents proud, which was one of the very big reasons, was to make my parents proud. But I realized like, this is for me. What's gonna happen? Like this ATAR is gonna help me. I wanna be able to leave school and have the option of not going to university, not being forced to not go to university. I want to leave school having the option to go to any uni I want, study whatever I want, and achieve something. Like I wanted to achieve something in my life because I had achieved nothing. And I'm not going to count games. I was very good at games. Okay, Fortnite, I'd destroy you. Fortnite, I'd destroy. I was very good at Fortnite, right? Anyway, so the point is I achieved nothing in my life. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to actually do this. At the time, when I set that goal, I was very scared. Because I had a lot of haters. I've been called dumb, I've been called stupid, I've been called slow, I've been suggested to drop out, like I said, by my school. But not just that, I had so many odds against me, right? I went to a 500 plus ranked public school. I had gotten C's and D's all my life. I had low scaling subjects, okay? So by the way, I didn't do anything advanced. I didn't do any high scaling subjects. My subjects were math standard, English standard, biology, PDHP, and software. None of them are high scaling. So I didn't do chemistry or nothing. And again, I had huge amount of haters. So all of these things made me realize like, oh my goodness, I don't think it's even possible for me to get a 95 ATAR. But again, I still pushed it. I still pushed past, right? So fast forward, I start year 11. And for the first time ever in my life, I decided to start doing things. I study hard, start fixing my habits, got tutors, done all that stuff, and I still did terribly. I still did below average in year 11. I still did very bad in year 11, very average. I improved a little bit, but I still did terrible. Like for example, just one example for math. I remember I had my first math exam, a very easy exam, studied my ass off, woke up at 4 a.m. to study, done everything I could, I got a tutor, done everything, and I still got 70%. Which is not a good 70%. It was well below average and multiple people got 190, right? So like it was a very bad mark. And at the time, I was with a tutor once, my math tutor, and he found out that I wanted to get a 95 ATAR. And when he found out I wanted to get a 95 ATAR, guess what he did? He was like, yeah, right. I'm not even joking. My own tutor laughed at my face for wanting to get a 95 ATAR. I obviously didn't keep him anymore because I realized tutors don't even bloody fix the problem, which is I'm going to talk about in the end. So with all these odds, I started the journey. Year 11 didn't go that well. And I kept pushing. And I tried to study the science of success. I read multiple books. I watched multiple videos of how does one even succeed? I read a lot of things on about athletes, because athletes, most of them go from nothing to something. So I'm like, how do you do that? And I studied and I studied, read a lot of books, not study related books, by the way. I read books on just how does someone change their life? I remember I actually searched up what is the most important thing for success? I just tried to really understand it. And despite the setbacks, despite the hurdles, despite the hate, and despite the odds, year 12 is when everything clicked. Year 11 didn't go well, like I said, but year 12 is when I finally figured out the system. And in year 12, I just destroyed everyone. In year 12, I ended up ranking first in almost everything. Literally ranking first in almost everything. In math, math was my worst subject. I literally had to resit multiple exams, and I did really bad in math for year 11. I got pretty much 100% in every single assessment apart from trials. For every other subject, I ranked first in pretty much every subject. And I had made it. Despite the odds, despite all of this, I ended up achieving, just to recap, a 97 plus ATAR, ducks, scholarship. And this is not like a scholarship. You might be thinking, oh, you probably just got the scholarship where they just offer you because you live in a bad area. No. This scholarship is called a AAA scholarship at UNSW. You can search it up. It's for the people who get the highest ATAR in their school. And I got, once again, band 6 in everything. I had achieved all of this despite this. I had achieved all of this despite every single hater getting less than me. Yes, here's a fun fact, guys. Every single hater I had, every single person who laughed at me because of the subjects I did, every single person who laughed at me because of the school I went to, I got a higher ATAR than they did. I got higher ATARs than people who went to the top most private and selective schools. I literally beat people who were supposed to beat me. I had literally went from 0 to ducks, from loser to winner. I had literally conquered all the odds, and I had destroyed every single person single-handedly. Single-handedly. And you can't get lucky doing this, by the way. This is not luck. Because luck, you can't really have luck in school. You can't go from 0 to first rank in everything if it was luck. I actually discovered how to do it. So that's what I'm going to talk about right now. How do you do this? Because the truth is, you can do this yourself. I promise you, I promise you, I promise you. I would never tell you this because I'm just digging my own grave to lie to you. No matter what your situation is, no matter how bad you've done in school, no matter where you're from, no matter what school you go to, no matter if English is your first language or not, you can literally achieve any ATAR you want if you do the right things. So if right now you are watching this video and there's a voice in your head that says, oh, but that's not you. Or maybe there's a voice in your head that's trying to make an excuse for me. Oh, that's maybe because he done this. No. I was just like you and I made it. So what's your excuse? You have no excuse. Every excuse is bullshit. I've never ever seen a valid excuse, by the way. Every single person who does bad in school deserves it. So don't pity yourself. Don't feel like a victim. It is all your fault. Okay, so I'm going to wrap off this video by explaining what I actually did. How the hell do you make a comeback so you can do it yourself? Here's how. Number 1, take full ownership. This is so important. Oh my goodness me, this is so important. The thing that pisses me off with people is they make bullshit up and they don't take ownership for their actions. They always make an excuse. Oh, it's my teachers. Oh, it's my school. Oh, it's my tutor. Oh, it's my parents. It's my mom. It's my dad. It's my sibling. You have to understand that it is all your fault. Full stop. It is your fault, my friend. And as painful as this was for me when I did it, it was the best thing I ever did in my life. I sat there and I'm like, you know what? This is my fault. I'm the reason I'm doing bad in school, no one else. So you need to take full ownership, even if your teachers are bad. My teachers were bad. They're amazing human beings. I love them, but they weren't really good teachers. I still took full ownership. My environment wasn't good. I had people trying to, influencing me in a bad way. It's still my fault. My subjects were low scale. It's still my fault. Oh, I don't go to a good school. It's still my fault. So you need to take full ownership of your actions, please. Number 2 is understand that your past does not equal to your future. This is a very, very important concept, because one of the biggest reasons why people can't make a comeback is because they get too attached to their past. They think, well, I've never even done well in school, so how the hell am I going to get a 95 ATAR? In fact, I spoke to a student the other day on TikTok, and they actually reached out for me for help. Okay, so I didn't reach out for them. They reached out for me to help. And I was texting, blah, blah, blah. And they said to me word for word, I'm not going to put it up here because I don't want to expose them. They said word for word, I'm not joking, word for word, don't worry, it's too late for me anyway. Your past does not dictate your future. But if you let it, it can. See, that's the thing. If you let it, you can. It will dictate your future. If I had let my grades from year 7 to year 11 actually impact my mind, I would have never tried in year 11 and 12. I would have just given up. So that's the second thing. Understand your past is not equal to your future. And number 3, the third thing I want to tell you before I teach you kind of the steps to making a comeback so you can do it yourself. The third thing I want to tell you is, this one pisses me off. Stop lying to yourself. How can you tell me that you want to achieve a high ATAR, make a comeback, prove my parents wrong, prove my haters wrong, yet you still do nothing differently to change yourself? How can you tell yourself that I want to do well when you're still laying down on your bed, scrolling, doing jack shit? How can you say you want to change yourself, yet you keep taking the same actions? How? You can't. Like, you're lying to yourself. I know students firsthand who say to me that I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna change myself, positive affirmations, I'm gonna get a 95 ATAR. But they don't do anything. They're doing the same things that got them their Ds. They try to lock in as if lock in is a button, and they just don't end up getting a high ATAR. Then they start pitying themselves, saying, oh, I'm just stupid, oh, blah, blah, blah. It's scaling's fault. So this is a serious request. You have to seriously evaluate. I was so serious. I sacrificed everything to win. That gaming PC I used to play all day on, I removed it from my desk. Those friends I used to hang out with, I stopped hanging out with them. That Netflix I used to watch till 3 a.m. in the morning, I stopped doing that. That sleeping in that I used to have, I stopped sleeping in. I started waking up at 5 a.m. every single day consistently, and it was life-changing. I was in bed at 9 to 10 p.m. every day, to the point where even my family was like, oh my God, are you going to bed now? So you know what, I'm gonna add the 4th thing. Sorry, I said 3, but 4. You have to sacrifice. You cannot succeed without sacrifice. Sacrifice is the key to success. So whatever is holding you back the most right now, if it's a bad habit, if it's the game, if it's your friends, remove it. Oh, but Lupin, I can't because of bullshit. Stop being weak. Do it, okay? So those are kind of the 4 things. Now, I'm gonna wrap up this video real quick because this in of itself is a whole different video, so I don't wanna waste too much time here. I'm gonna quickly give you the secret to an academic comeback. Just for some context, I run a mentorship program called Dux Academy. You can maybe see the sign here. And what Dux Academy is basically is we help low performing students make a comeback and achieve straight A's without any form of tutoring. I have helped over 200 students make a comeback. I'll give you some student results right here, as you can see. I've helped over 200 people do it. So this system works. So don't be stubborn and listen. This is the Dux Academy blueprint. Are you ready? Let's go. So this is exactly what I did, and this is exactly what I've helped over 200 people do too. Number 1, the first step to make an academic comeback, so stage number 1, is self-mastery. Now, what self-mastery means is mastering yourself, because you are the one who produces the result. So if you're not mastering yourself, then you're not going to produce the result you want, right? So what that means is fixing your mindset, fixing your habits, fixing and getting rid of your procrastination, right? Fixing your organization and etc. I'm not going to continue because it's pretty obvious. It's just everything got to do with you. Those bad habits you have, the way you think, your mindset and etc. Fix that first. Then stage number two is study. You need to learn how to freaking study. And I tell you what's funny about all of this, your school teaches you none of this, which is why I'm here. But if you are studying by reading notes, writing notes, highlighting notes, rereading notes, watching things, like you're just never going to do well. I'm sorry. You can study 10 hours a day if you want, you're still going to fail. Mark my words. You need to learn how to study properly. So learn how to study. So that's stage number two. Because once you learn how to study, that's how you can remember things, understand things, apply things, and get 90%. Stage number three is productivity. Now this is obviously very important. What I mean by productivity is you need to be able to do the hard work. You need to be able to study for long amounts of time. You need to be able to grind and lock in. By the way, if you ever see anyone online saying how they got a 99 ATAR by studying 1 hour a day, 2 hours a day, and having a bunch of extracurriculars and relaxing, they are full of shit. Shit. You cannot succeed by doing bare minimum. You're literally failing, my friend. What the hell are you trying to study for 1 hour for? Study for 6 hours, okay? So number three is productivity, fixing your sleep, learning how to study for a long amount of time every single day without burning out. And then stage number four is maintenance. And this is where you need to learn how to be consistent, because that's a very big thing. Because what people do is they might be able to do well for the first exam or second exam, but they fall off eventually. You need to learn how to stay up no matter what, okay? So that is how you make a comeback, by doing these 4 things. Now, if you want my help doing this, if you want to actually do it, if you're serious about it, I will literally guarantee a comeback for you. And why can I do that? Because I've helped over 200 people do it. You can check the first link in the description and you can apply to my program, to my mentorship. We can chat one-on-one, me and you, and we can see if this is something that would be a good fit for you. Because I'm telling you right now, this program works. I've literally cracked the code to making a comeback. Just today, a message from a student, I'll put on the board right now. I got a message from my students telling me that they went from 30% to 80% after just 1 month of working with me. 1 month. I've cracked the code, my friend. And by the way, tutoring will never get you a comeback. Stop going to tutoring, okay? Tutoring is a freaking waste of time. It's a waste of money. It will never get you the comeback you want. Why? Because your issue isn't the content. But anyway, that's a topic for later. This video is already like 30 minutes long. I don't want to take too much of your time, okay? I'm gonna make videos on all of these separately, by the way. But I just want to kind of give you an overview of what the rest of these videos will look like and what you need to be doing, because I'm sick of students working on the wrong things. Like students tell me, no, I'm gonna really change myself this time. Okay, what are you doing? Oh, so I've got on a tutor and like we're gonna like get ahead of the content together over the holidays. Are you stupid? Like your problem isn't the content, it's you, okay? So I hope you enjoyed this video. And if there's one thing I need you to understand is nothing is impossible. You can achieve any ATAR you want, no matter what. And I'd love to help you out. Stop trying to do things yourself. Stop trying to figure out yourself. There's a blueprint that you can follow, which is Dux Academy, and I'd love to help you out. Check the first link in the description. Even if you don't check the first link in the description, please remember this. Nothing is stopping you from success except you. I'll see you in the next one, my friend.